I'll go right here. Well, guys, welcome. Welcome to another training. I'm going to try my best to keep this one um, interesting and informative for you. Uh, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jay Early. I've been doing direct marketing, let's just say a long time. You can judge that from the grade that I have. Okay, look, the reason I came on this time because I know it's Sunday, but remember, we are in the playoffs in about a half hour. Of course, it's kickoff time. So I didn't want to have anyone have any excuses for those of you that are watching live that you could get on and get off before the game start. And for everyone else, of course, when you do view this in replay, just let me know that you did. Now, if you learned something from what you're seeing on one of the 8 different platforms that I'm live on, please be sure to drop a like and share. All right. Appreciate it a whole lot. We're going to talk about one today. And let me say how this, first of all, let me say how this training came about today. I had one of my members say to me that they don't have enough time in their day, excuse me, enough time in their day to market their business. And I sat back and thought, because in the past, of course, I've heard this before, and then all kind of bells went off and said, well, wait a minute, it's it's 24 hours in the day. How is this, or what does this person think that they need to do to market? So that's why I sat down and I put together this short presentation. And yes, there's more involved, but hopefully I've touched some of the basics and it will make sense to somebody who's watching this presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. So, of course, I don't have enough time to work my business. That we all know that's not a reality, right? So here's some food for thought. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. So it really comes down to how we use our time. Now, I'm going to take the time that I was in the States. I used to get up at 5:30 in the morning, roughly, because I'd be in the gym at 6:30. I would train from 6:30 to 7:30, go back home and have my breakfast, or I'd go back home and shower and all that good stuff and go over to Denny's and have me a nice breakfast. And then my day would start. Okay. Whether I went to the office because, nowadays a lot of people working from home, or I went back home. Of course, if you don't leave your house, of course, you can, do the things I said in that period of time. So a lot of people like to start their day with getting the training out the way. Then they go to getting their meditation out the way, right? And then they do the shower, breakfast, or shower, shave, and breakfast, and then they're out the door on the way to work. Okay. For those of us that are independent, of course, we start our working day after we get that done. That's just to throw that out there. Now, of course, the next thing that we have is the fact that um, I believe that it's not even about having more time in a day. It's more so it's about managing the time that you have. Okay. And example, we all know that we have what's called, especially if you have your own business, you've got online marketing, you've got offline marketing. So we have to clarify that. So it's like making you out a schedule that you can follow, that schedule, comfortable schedule, because you have everybody's day is different. Okay. I can't tell you when you need to get something done. I can tell you what some of the professionals say, but I can't tell you how to do your day. Then, of course, thanks to the internet, we're all in different time zones. Okay. So that's a big help also. I've seen some people's example. I was talking to a young lady in Hawaii, and it turned out it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, her time. And I said, wow, you know, but a lot of times you have to do what you have to do to get the job done. So the most important is the time that you devote to your marketing daily, meaning whatever time that you chose, you have to stick with it. Okay. You have to stick with it because you're marketing. Without marketing, no one knows you're in business. And as you know, Coca-Cola has been out there a long time. McDonald's has been out there a long time. Starbucks has been out there a long time. And guess what they do every day? They market. They advertise, which is, of course, a part of marketing every day, right? And if you have a business and wish to be successful, of course, you've got to do the same thing. So, marketing is not something that you have to do at a certain time of day. Marketing is something that you do throughout the day. Like myself, I know I'm 6 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time because I live in Europe. Okay, so I have to adjust my time. As an example, let's say I want to post at 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, well for me that's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So therefore, my mornings are used for the exercise, meditation, running errands, whatever I need to get done, so that I know somewhere between 7 and 8 that I'm sitting in front of a computer or I'm on my phone and I'm starting to do my marketing for that particular day. That's very important. Now, here there are some suggested times by social media. Forgive me for reading my notes. To do social media posts to get the most views and engagements. Now, let me tell you this: you can do search on Google, and you're going to find some different times. All right, everybody's got their own opinion, but this is what I was taught. Okay, this is what I was taught, and I still stick by it today. The best time to post on Facebook is between 7 to 10 a.m. For higher visibility. Think about this: most people do what when they get up in the morning? I don't know about you, right? But one of the first things after I'm fully awake, and possibly by the time I'm having that first cup of coffee, I'm already looking on my phone. Okay. A lot of people want to look at their phone prior to going out the door to work. Some do it on the way. Some do it as they get to work. That's why they're saving 7 to 10. You know, and then others tend to go online to work or when they arrive at work. Then the next cycle of time is 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Now we can all figure that out for ourselves. Lunchtime. Yes, there are some people that are going to lunch at 11:30, which I thought was kind of early, and there's some people that are going to lunch at 1:30. So that is another time that people go online and they check and they'll see their notifications or whatever. And yes, they're going to push those buttons. So it's a great time to putting up a new post. If they're your friends, they'll know that you just posted something. And then, of course, we have the evening cycle. That's between 6 to 9 p.m. at night. So that kind of just gives you a little variation as to what you can do. Now, let's focus on offline. And the reason I said it like that is because some people, I believe, are mixed up. Excuse me just for a second. Some people are a little mixed up about their offline. Some people believe, let me read it to you just like I have it written here. We have a saying that we do not have to go out to market on purpose, but we are marketing when we're out doing our daily activities. So in other words, you don't go out to market, you just market while you're out. It's a process, right? I'm gonna give you a good example. I have a good friend of mine, and he still does this today. And I visited with him, I think it was in 2005, right? And I just talked to him about 2 weeks ago, and he says he still does the same thing. Now, let me show the power of this. What he would do is in the morning, he would get his training done, and he went to the gym. And on the way back from the gym, he would grab a Starbucks. But now his goal for that day is to contact 10 people, 10 new people. So that means while he's at Starbucks, he's meeting people and giving out cards at the same time, but nothing forceful, just casual, right? Then he goes home and, he has his breakfast and whatnot. And then on the way to work, he would stop at Starbucks for his second cup of coffee. Okay. Now, this is not for everybody because that can get kind of expensive, right? I did say Starbucks, but there are other coffee shops out there. And then, of course, he would give out some more cards. And then lunch hour, he would do this again. So if he gave out 3 cards each time, and then one of those times 4, guess what? He gave out his 10 cards a day. He touched 10 people a day. Think about that. That's heavy. Okay. Now, this young man is very successful. He's in what we call, I'm going to mess up the title. What he does, oh, he's a mortgage originator. You can look that up. But he's the guy that puts the buyer with the money and makes the deal. And he told me, I just talked to him 2 weeks ago, he hasn't had to go out of his office and do any other form of advertising, like newspaper or anything like that, for years. Just from that ritual he started doing back in 2005. So it does pay off to do that. Okay. Now, using the US as an example, because people normally greet each other more casually in public places, it's important to understand that you must have what we call an elevate. These are actually 2 different paragraphs. All right. So, number one, I'm going to give you some examples, but I'm going to use the US because I'm used to in the US. And as you know, there's a lot of times when we're out in a public place, you can just see a person. You happen to catch eye contact and you might just do something like that. Or like I said, you're in a line in the grocery mart or in Starbucks, and you can get to a conversation just standing in line with a perfect stranger. I've done it often in Walmart in the grocery department. I might be looking for something, ask someone for some help. Next thing I know, I'm in a short conversation, right? So there are a lot of opportunities that are natural that you should be prepared for by having what we call an elevator pitch. Now, a lot of people say, well, what is an elevator pitch? Very simple. Let me just try this one. Okay. I'm just making this up. I don't have any notes on this one right here, but it could be something as simple as saying, someone said, well, well, what do you do? And you would say, well, I help people to keep more of the money that they spend by showing them how to cut back on their daily spending, okay, to pay less for the items that they buy every day, such as gas, groceries, dining out, and that kind of thing. At the same time, I help them to be able to uh, build a second income of anywhere from $500 to $2,500 a month of what we call residual income. Okay. So it depends if a person wants to save, they want to earn, or if they want to do both. I can help them out. That was my elevator pitch. That quick. It was very simple. Okay. So you can do the same thing. And I made a couple of examples here. And I think I just went over some of what I said. And forgive me for reading this, right? But see, when you go back and watch the video, because I'm going to put this on YouTube, you can actually take and copy some of this down yourself. One of my favorites is the pure compliment approach. And when I say pure, it means it should come from your heart. It should not be fake. You should not meet somebody with a pair of dirty sneaks and you say, wow, those are some awesome shoes. You know what I mean? You would be lying. But the pure compliment approach. Let's say you're in line at a store or coffee shop and the person in front of you is a sharp dresser. You may say something like, wow, that's some awesome looking shoes you're wearing. Do you mind me asking where you got them from? Okay. The person replies, and this just opened the door for you to say something like, you look like a person that likes nice things. Do you mind me asking you a question? What do you do for a living? They reply, and your next statement could be one of several. Well, look, my company is expanding this area and we're looking for sharp people like yourself. Would you happen to know anyone that could use an extra $550 a month if they didn't have to, if it didn't take them away from their present job? Excuse me. What do you think the person is going to say? Well, what about me? Okay. Or if they really have no interest, they say, not off top of my head, but I can think about it. All right. Because you just asked them who they know. You did not ask them, are you interested in making some money? Yes, you could do that too, right? I'm just giving you an approach that I know that works because people are curious. And if you're asking them, they know some people that are sharp like them that could use that money. Who could not use an extra $500 to $1,500 a month in their household? I don't know. Well, yeah, maybe some basketball players. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So, well, of course, it says, well, what about me? What is this all about? Now, keep in mind, you're staying in line and you're in a hurry, so you want to exchange numbers. And I will text you info later today when I get to the office. In other words, you don't want to sit there and tell them what you do. You want to be in a hurry because remember, you're standing in line, right? So, look, I really don't have time to go into detail, but look, let's exchange numbers. What I'll do when I get back to my office, okay, your office could be in your home, doesn't make a difference. I will text you some information so you can take a look at it, and then you exchange numbers, and you're on your way. It's that simple. Now, just one way. Another could have been as simple to say, after they tell you what they do for a living, is, are you a person that keeps your income options open? I've been using that for years. For years, it's made a lot of people in network marketing a lot of money. Why? Because you're cutting through the chase. It's either they're interested or they're not interested, and you go on to the next individual. Okay. Always remember, every no is getting you closer to a yes. So, where did I go? Keep your income options open. The answer yes, or what's this about? You go back to my company is expanding. We're looking for sharp people like yourself that want to earn an extra $500 to $1,500 a month. And then again, you're in a hurry. You want to exchange details and you want to get out of there. This is something that any of us can do. And in actuality, once you get the hang of this, you will find out that it's fun. It's fun meeting people. Of course, if you're a people person, it's fun meeting people. So I like to say, have fun with it. Okay. Um, you will, as you're into the business more, you come up with different approaches. You'll never use my exact words verbatim. Okay. It's just trying to give you a direction to go in. And then I say this, give yourself a personal challenge. Challenge yourself to get 3 names a day, starting out when you're out and about. Okay. Um, and before you know it, you increase to 5 and or 10. Because remember, it's a personal challenge. And if you're brand new, 3 is a good number. All right. 3, just 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. All right. Do that 4 times. So 36, 72. So that's extra from what you're doing online. Okay. Hope it made sense. So, how this relates to time management? Well, you just discovered a way to market, uh, yeah, to market without marketing. Remember, people buy you before they buy what you are marketing, and that's very important to keep in the back of your mind. So, there are many ways to market offline, and I'm just going to talk about, give you some examples. One, of course, is flyer marketing. That's putting out a consistent 200, 300 flyers a day. This requires having a phone number that they can call or text, such as your Google phone, right? In fact, I know a couple of people use Google phone, and they'll actually make you say who you are before you can get through to the person. This requires a capture page with an autoresponder. Second, you got Craigslist and other free magazines out there. Yeah, I think there's some that are called the penny magazine, the nickel. You find them in your local grocery stores and Walmarts. You've probably seen the rack of those magazines over there, right? And a lot of people advertise in those. And of course, you can advertise in your local newspaper. I've done that. It's not cheap, right? Some people use yard signs. Others have car screens. You've probably seen them going across the back of someone's car, right? Um, a number of things I've listed here. Of course, there's a cost to it. That means that a person has to have a advertisement budget. Every business has an advertisement budget. You're in business for yourself. Everything that you spend money on, you write it off to lower your tax. You have over 400 write-offs that you can utilize. This is just to give you, of course, an idea. So, oh, I ran out. I just ran out. Oh boy, I thought I had 13 slides. I only had 12. Okay, but that's a good place to end right there. The key, and I hope that you've learned this in the last few minutes, is that you have to use the 24 hours that God's given you wisely. Everyone can make the time to either take, I don't care if it's 30 minutes to 30 minutes to an hour a day to set aside to market online. Okay. Or you can plan it into your day. Nothing says you have to sit there exactly at 7 o'clock every day and market. Okay, I break mine up. I'll do some, let's say at my time around, well, let's say at your time is better, around 7 o'clock in the morning, your time. And then throughout the day, I might go do what we call messenger marketing, group marketing. Uh, I do Instagram. What's the other one? LinkedIn. And of course, YouTube. In fact, what I'm doing right now will end up on YouTube, so you'll be able to go to my channel and actually look at some of the other trainings I've done. All right. If you're on my team, you just go up to guides and you'll find a training section up there, and you'll be able to see some of the other trainings that I've put here in the group. Well, we're getting close to time for playoffs. So I see I got 8 minutes. Again, I pray you got something out of this. So what I want you to do again, feel free to drop a comment, share this on your timeline if you wish, with some other friends or whatever. And I do this often. This is not a one-stop thing. Again, I thank you for your time. If you're not on my team, of course, you want to know what I'm doing, just get into my inbox and I'll send you some information. I hope the football players that are watching this enjoy the playoffs. All right. God bless. Have an awesome day. I'll see you on the next call.